He chose his Prophet Muhammad والسلام, to basically give him some kind of, a lot of blessings. We said that the Salah was prescribed for the Muslims. Most important thing in our religion is what? Salah, number one. This is the only connection. Because you're going to tell me the kafir, the person who is not believing in Allah, the mushrik who doesn't believe in Allah, you can go give charity, humanitarian causes, anything. But nobody does the salah other than Muslims. Same salah. That's the only. And that's the proof of the iman, like we said yesterday, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have said, وَمَا كَانَ اللَّهُ لِيُضِيعَ إِيمَانَكُمْ in Surah Al-Baqarah, about the change of the Qibla. When they change it, so there are people who have their brothers passed away, they went to the Prophet and asked him, what happened to the people who were facing the Masjid al-Aqsa after the Qibla was changed? What will happen? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed that ayah, that Allah mentioned the salah as iman. As iman, a proof for your iman. You wake up today in the morning, okay? You're rushing to make wudu, to come to the masjid. I mean, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to tell you in the hereafter, you can make your case. Ya Allah, the only thing, nobody, everybody's sleeping. I have a lot of people around me sleeping. A lot of retirees are sleeping. But I'm only, I'm coming to you, Ya Allah. So that's the proof for Iman. So that is also another thing. That Shahr Ramadan, we have also to understand that Shahr Ramadan is what? Shahr al-Quran. And Shahr, one very important thing is energy. You know that 5-hour energy shot? That is exactly what Shahr Ramadan is. Okay? You take that shot to help you throughout the year. It's not just I'm in the 5-hour energy, I'm done with my job. No. That 5-hour energy shot is for the whole year. So once you start to come to Fajr, right now, you have to come every day. It's just you have to change your habit. It's not Shahr Ramadan. Allah wants the permanent changes. It's not like, I came every day. How many hours in Ramadan we spent between Taraweeh? At least everybody 2 hours, yes? The regular days, if you come to Isha, for example, and you come to do Fajr, how long does it going to take you? Maybe 20 minutes? Okay, so you already made the hardest, So you can make easy these 2 prayers as a commitment. Ya Rabbi, I'm changing after Ramadan. Because Allah said it's a bayinatin minna and huda. Yeah, it's just going to give you huda. It's just a bayinat, just the signs of huda. So yes, I'm going to make my commitment to pray these 2 prayers. It's going to take what, 20 minutes? Okay, you're spending 2 hours now. And these are what? These prayers are what? Mandatory. So we want to make sure understand that Ramadan is a shahr to give us, all of us, to give us that kind of energy which we need throughout the whole year. And permanent changes. This is the misconception. Ramadan is here. I get what I can from Ramadan and I go back to what I was doing. So to know that your Ramadan is accepted, okay, you have what you were doing in Ramadan. You have to come out with Ramadan with something new, with something you can implement after Ramadan. Let's go to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the second ayah said, وَآتَيْنَا مُوسَى الْكِتَابَ وَجَعَلْنَاهُ هُدًى لِبَنِي إِسْرَائِيل. And again we said why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bringing the story of Musa and Bani Israel all the time, most of the time. 136 times Musa was repeated in the Quran. What is the reason? This book is for Jews or for us as Muslims? Muslims. Similarities are the same. There's a lot of similarities between what's the Muslims Ummah of Muhammad ﷺ and what's the mistakes, they're doing and what they will do, and the similarities between Bani Israel and what they have done and what they're doing. Same similarities. وَآتَيْنَا مُوسَى الْكِتَابِ. We have given Musa the kitab. Some people they said the kitab is the Torah. وَجَعَلْنَاهُ هُدًى. And from that Torah is what? The Huda, the guidance. لِبَنِي Israel. For the Israelites. أَلَّا تَتَّخِذُوا مِن دُونِي وَكِيلًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala left all the commandments. Okay? All the commandments and just brought one commandment. Don't take you can say an attorney, a lawyer, somebody else on the behalf of me. That is very important to understand. That means what? That means don't take anybody else who you have to do what? Take decisions on your affairs other than Allah. That is basically the meaning. So when you have something, you don't know what I'm supposed to do in this and that, who I have to counsel. I see in the Quran what the Quran says, what the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ says, and so on and so forth. So these are the references for us. So لا تتخذوا من دون الله وكيلا also is to take Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as the disposer of the affairs. He is the one who you depend on him on all your affairs basically. ذرية من حملنا مع نوح. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is bringing Nuh also. All these prophets, we have to understand Musa and Nuh, they had what? Big hardships. Big crisis times. Problems, trials. Somebody like Musa alayhi salam, it's not just, you have to understand Musa is not dealing only with Pharaoh. He's not dealing with who?
Samri too.
Exactly. That's what I was coming. He's dealing with his people. So he's dealing with two, like people are not believing in Allah, they're not believing in him. And then on the second hand, he has Fir'aun to deal with. So he has two, exactly. So you have two big problems. Nuh alayhi salam, he has also big things like that. He has his people 1,000 years. And in addition to that, his family. Well, we know his son. Yes, he didn't, So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about Nuh alayhi salam, and he said, إِنَّهُ كَانَ عَبْدًا شَكُورًا. And this is a very good, very, very good or very important aspect we have to understand. The shukr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we talked before about the shukr. It's not just a verb.
Yes, one question.
Yes, brother.
Always we listen about Musa alayhi salatu wasalam
Yes.
and Fir'aun.
Yes.
Did Fir'aun don't have own son and own family and own daughter, nothing? Just
He did.
Fir'aun?
He did. He did have a family. He did have people around him. Yeah, but remember the Quran, we said the Quran before, is a book of guidance. Quran is not going to give you details about everything. Okay? Quran is not going to give you details. You have so many details.
Even any ulama, they never have any.
Yeah, but remember we have to understand.
They have a son.
If we're going to go about this is like Quran is mentioning probably.
When he preached for that,
Yes.
that time, of course, Fir'aun have too old maybe, when he was going to be young, because his baby when he is coming.
When at that time, he did, when Musa came, he didn't have any kids.
I know.
His
when
kids was
Musa-
born after.
Musa is maybe, and he is maybe older, 40 or 50.
Is what?
Fir'aun, the old age being
Yeah.
like 40 or maybe 50 or 35.
Okay.
And Musa is like 25 or 30 when he.
Maybe older than that, yes. So, yeah. So, إِنَّهُ كَانَ عَبْدًا شَكُورًا. So, two things Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in this previous ayat is mentioning. And we have to, as us, as Muslims, we have to believe in them and try to the wakil, نتخذ الله وكيل. اللهم كن حسبي. One of the biggest dua, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, you said, اللهم كن حسبي ووكيلي ووليي. So you are Allah, you take care of all my affairs. And we said before that you basically can see in front of you, maybe we have a car behind you, but you cannot actually, and we take an example before somebody's driving to the masjid, and another car or another drunk driver is coming. Allah is the only one who can protect you. But this guy hit a tree before he hit you, something like that. So that's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who said has a bird view. He sees everything. He controls everything, so he can protect you. But you cannot protect yourself. You can protect yourself to a limited extent, but you're not going to cover all the aspects. Because remember, he has a bird view, he can see how other people are planning. Like the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, one of the famous incidents, and why he, one of the tribes of the Yahud in Medina, he had to expel them. He wanted them to ask them about a favor, to give him 200 camels or something like that for one of the Sahabi. They were planning, right now he's here. What about having a big rock? He's living outside. We'll throw the rock on him. You see, you see the planet. Who had the bird view on the top? Allah.
Allah.
Prophet Muhammad is a human. He's limited. Without the wahy, he doesn't know. You know, so the wahy Jibreel directly came to him. He said, they're planning. Then the Prophet ﷺ, he left right away, and the Muslims seized them and they expelled them out of the Medina. So that is an example of when you make Allah wakil, He'll take care of your affairs without your knowledge.
حسبي الله لا إله إلا هو عليه توكلت وهو رب العرش العظيم.
تمام. إنه كان, we said Nuh, and the second thing is the shukr. And the shukr is a very important aspect. How is the shukr? Use what Allah have given you in making what? In His obedience. Like Allah gave you money. Ya Allah, what do I need to do? What make you happy, Ya Allah, to use this money in? Okay, do I waste that money? Or I use it for something beneficial? Okay, Allah give you kids. How, Ya Allah, make these kids obedient to you? Allah have give you a job. Allah, so I protect the job. I treat people and make sure my transactions are 100%. Go with the Islam, or going with the trust, going with the truthfulness, so on and so forth. So everything so say Alhamdulillah. This is saying Alhamdulillah basically in action. So Alhamdulillah is not just Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah. That doesn't happen. You're going to see a lot of وَالْعِيَاذُ بِاللَّهِ, a lot of people like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al-Kahf at the end of the قُلْ هَلْ أُنَبِّئُكُمْ بِالْأَخْسَرِينَ أَعْمَالًا الَّذِينَ ضَلَّ سَعْيُهُمْ فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيا وَهُمْ يَحْسَبُونَ أَنَّهُمْ يُحْسِنُونَ صُنْعًا. Yeah, they expected, they did actions, so many actions. They might even prayed, they might even fasted, they might even, this thing they do all kind of deeds. But أَخْسَرِينَ أَعْمَالًا, they were worse in the deeds. Why? Because the action wasn't for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's sake, or the action itself was just out of the mouth, just lip service, like we said before. وَخَدَيْنَا إِلَى بَنِي إِسْرَائِيل فِي الْكِتَابِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioning it is bringing the story of Bani Israel. So what is about Israel? قَدَيْنَا means قَدَيْنَا, we already have made the qada. إلى بني إسرائيل. We have made the decision, we have made the destiny. إلى بني إسرائيل في الكتاب. في الكتاب, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in that kitab? This is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He created the whole universe, the whole earth, He said what? The first thing He used is what? The qalam, the pen. He told him write. Okay, like we said before, same thing like any software developer. What does he do? He code. It's called coding. You write the program. You have a game, for example, Fortnite or whatever the game is. Yes, definitely, because you write. You write whatever the programming language. Write, and then boom, enter. Everything comes into existence. The whole program comes. Same thing Allah did. Allah, of course, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَاللَّهِ الْمَثَلُ الْأَعْلَى, He did the same thing. So He قَضَى إِلَى بَنِي إِسْرَائِيل. Bani Israel في الكتاب, which is the destiny book, لَتُفْسِدُنَّ. You will corrupt on earth مرتين, 2 times. وَلَتَعْلُنَّ عُلُوًّا كَبِيرًا. And you will go high in status. Too much. كبيرا. فإذا جاء وعد أولاهما بعثنا عليكم عبادا. Okay. So the first time, there is a lot of different, but the first time where Bani Israel were superior, when was that? At the time of King Dawood, Sulaiman, and this is when they had the top, the peak of Bani Israel. After that, because of what? Why Bani Israel? This is a very important lesson. Why Bani Israel? They collapsed in the first time, for example. Disunity. After Sulaiman's passed away, the 2 sons separated. They separated the whole kingdom into 2. Then it started. Once you separate yourself, what happens? You become easy access to everybody to attack you and annihilate you or to finish you. And this is what happened with Bani Israel. This is happening with the Muslim Ummah right now. Muslim Ummah just after
Weak. Became weak.
become weak. You know, after throughout the Muslim history, you won't see any unification for the whole Muslim Khilafah. You know, Egypt sometimes separated, Sham, Syria separated. You see, everybody's trying to power hungry. Okay, not power hungry and not doing for like the brother he was mentioning is what everybody's trying not for the sake of Allah. Whoever is fighting for the sake of Allah, that's a different story. But whoever fighting for himself or to kill his brother or to kill his whatever, this is whole idea is fighting for what? Fighting for your ego, fighting for your authority. And this is why they fell. Separation and they fought between each other. So Allah sent. Same thing is happening. Allah sent who? Whoever will humiliate them. And this is, you know, so Allah have sent the Babylonians. They killed so many of them, 600,000. They took the rest of them. They took them to Iraq for as captives, so on and so forth. بعثنا عليكم عبادا لنا أولي بأس شديد فإذا جاء وعد. So Allah, He said, we'll send people upon you to أولي بأس. They have great or might. فجاسوا خلال الديار. They will go around your homes. وكان وعدا مفعولا. Indeed, كان وعدا مفعولا. Indeed, it will be fulfilled promise. ثم رددنا لكم الكرة عليهم. So then, a lot of people are arguing, Allahu A'lam, that this is the time right now. You know, this ayah is, a lot of people are arguing that ayah number 6 is now they are getting the might. ثم رددنا عليكم. We return you back. الكرة عليهم وأمددناكم. And we gave you, we supplied you with أموال وبنين. We give you money and we give you and we give you You see, for example, you go to Brooklyn now, each Jewish family, you see 6, 7 kids. Families, yes, exactly. So many. So they have a lot of banin and money. Who's controlling Wall Street? Who's controlling the banking system? Who's controlling, so many things, IMF, so many things, they're behind the scenes. They don't come, on the surface, but behind the scenes. And that's even more, more tricky.
Front line we are.
So they're behind the scenes controlling everything. So they have وَبَنِينَ وَجَعَلْنَاكُمْ أَكْثَرْ نَفِيرًا. And the word nafir here, what? Your voice, your media, your news channels, And that's what the game, they're playing that, the game, the victim game. They have all the news channels, all the social media, all the stuff.
Education.
Education, but nafir means, it comes like from the, the nafir which makes a sound. So your sound is so loud. The only thing, for example, Democrats and Republicans agree on is, we have to keep the state of Israel. We have to support Israel. We have to give funding to the state of Israel. Even it kind of comes from the poor people. Let me live in California, for example, they have 160,000 homeless. I don't care as a congressman, because they have their IPAC or APAC or whatever, which is support. If I don't give them the money, I'm going to be voted out, so on and so forth. So they know how to manipulate the system for their advantage, regardless it's just or unjust. No. We have to be on the top, directly or indirectly. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, we made you what? Have a very loud voice, loud media. Your voice is always heard. In ahsantum. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you see the justice of Allah. Allah made this world is what? Testing room. Allah has no, that's what a favoritism for somebody over somebody. When Allah gives you something, He expects something in return. Okay? When Allah takes something from you, He will reward you for something else. Or reward you in hasanat, or reward you from this or that. So in ahsantum li anfusakum. Allah is telling them, if you do good, it's only for who? For yourself. Same thing is for each one of us. If we do good, it's for ourselves. Why for ourselves? Why? For two things.
Right.
Two things. In this life, when you do good, you find good. Even if you don't find it in monetary, even if you don't find it in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can take something harm, could destroy you, could disgrace you, could do something bad to you, He take it away from you. You know, that's one thing. Number two, Allah could protect you. Number three, Allah also in this life will give you the iman and tranquility and the peace, which that you cannot buy this with money.
Yes.
You know, you have people who have billions of dollars, and some of them commit suicide.
Yes.
You know, you have people who have billions of dollars and they cannot control their family, their family members, their kids. They show no respect to them. You know, they so on and so forth. Like a guy, for example, like Donald Trump, I expect he's not even able to sleep. Oh, I have to pay New York State $500 million. I have to pay that lady $100 million. And he doesn't have that. He might have net worth of that, but he has no liquidity. You know, he has to sell this, he has to do this, he does, and have election. So his money does nothing. Status does nothing. It gets me all crazy. You know, so the peace Allah gives to the person from His satisfaction, you cannot buy that with billions. You know, with billions. When you sleep at night, and you can fall into sleep. Wallahi, I know people cannot fall into sleep.
That's true.
You know, I need this sleeping medicine, I need this, they cannot close their eyes. This is wallahi adhab. Adhab. Because if you don't sleep, actually, this is the worst thing. It can deteriorate your whole body.
Yes.
You know, it's easy, it's slow death.
And also there is a facial expression.
Yeah.
Those who are good, those who are bad.
Subhanallah.
You can inspect
Of course.
by seeing the facial expression. And
Absolutely.
face, if you see the Donald Trump face,
Yes.
what do you mean?
It looks nice.
He's anxious.
وَإِنْ أَسَأْتُمْ فَلَهَا. If you do bad, it's for yourself. وَإِذَا جَاءَ وَعْدُ الْآخِرَةِ لِيَسُوءُوا وُجُوهَكُمْ. So when the time of the akhirah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning here, this is not the akhirah. This is the end of the lifespan on this earth. Okay, وَعْدُ الْآخِرَةِ. They will disgrace your faces. Basically, يسوء وجوهكم, disgrace. وَلِيَدْخُلُوا الْمَسْجِدَ كَمَا دَخَلُوهُ أَوَّلَ مَرَّةٍ. A lot of people, they argue that, you know, that this is a second coming of Islam, and Islam was going to come. They expel the Jews from Palestine. They take over the Masjid al-Aqsa, so on and so forth. So we can, you know, there is no really, we cannot 100% say what the ayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala a'lam. You know, we can't just, you know, but people can say, people can make it ijtihad, but we don't know. كما دخلوه أول مرة. And then what? وَلِيَتَبَّرُوا مَا عَلَوْا تَتَبِيرًا. Means what? Whatever they can come in their way, they will what? They will destroy. How many minutes do I have left, brother?
2 more minutes.
2 more minutes. Okay. Let's finish this ayah. عسى ربكم أن يرحمكم. Again, after all of this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, maybe Allah will give you mercy. Why Allah saying this? Because this is a very important misconception. Okay? And we have to understand that. Alright? You cannot judge all the Jewish people that they're bad. You cannot judge each person. You have to take him on his own merits. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the ayah number 15, وَلَا تَذْرُوا وَاذِرَةٌ وِزْرَ أُخْرَى. Nobody's taking the burden of others. So because their ancestors did bad, you can't say all the Jewish people, they're bad. You know? So Allah say for these generations coming, yes, I have mercy open for you. I have mercy open for you. عَسَى رَبُّكُمْ أَنْ يَرْحَمُكُمْ. Allah might forgive them. They might change their ways. You know, we cannot take that. This is another thing. We cannot take the rahmah of Allah from nobody.
Yes.
Allah have given. We cannot say, oh, these people are doomed. Allah, you never know. You never know. It's not ours. Islam is not ours. Allah could open wallahi the hearts of everybody to Islam. But we have to do the job. You know? So this is very important. So we cannot say, we cannot have the hatred. Yes, we hate the disease. We hate the actions. Okay? But we hope that Allah guide them. This is what we are. That's like we said like yesterday, the example is who? Our Prophet. He didn't make dua against everybody. He said what? No, maybe from their ancestors. You know? And we know that even the Sayyida Safiya, Zawdat al-Rasul, you know, he was a Jew. From the Jewish, ancestors. So what does that mean? And we see a lot of even Jews convert to Islam. You know? So we cannot have the hatred towards anybody take over. Because this is some people, brother, easy. We hate the actions. But again, we have to understand that this is what from also our action. We cannot blame them for everything because we destroy. Like what we said before, look at other countries like Sudan. There are no Jews there. Okay? And almost the amount of people have died, almost the same. 30,000 or more in Sudan. The people who were displaced, there are more than 5 or 7 million. Displaced. The destruction is there. So who are there? Are Sudanese or Jewish? No. You know, they're coming from, so we have to come and look. And like we said in this ayat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say, number one problem where people fall into destruction is what? Disunity. The identity. You say this guy is from Sylhet and this guy from Dhaka. Oh, Sylhet is better. This guy from Punjabi and this guy is from wherever. Some other. Yeah. Here you go. You know, that preference, your loyalty has to be only for La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasul. That's it. No. This is what the strength of Islam will come from. أقول قولي هذا استغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين.
Sudan and who destroyed the Yemen?
Okay?
Yeah, there are many African countries too.
Is Saudi Arabia to go always in the Yemen?
Yeah.
It is we who are destroying ourselves.